Imagine staring into the abyss, waiting for a rock, and seeing a machine blink back at you. On November 10th, the official narrative regarding our solar system's latest visitor, 3I Atlas, officially collapsed. The story they told you, that it was just a comet, that it heated up, and that it simply disintegrated into dust, is no longer supported by the math. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb has just released an analysis that changes everything. According to the data, 3I Atlas didn't just explode. It fragmented into 16 perfectly symmetrical pieces. It accelerated when it should have slowed down. And most terrifying of all, it began to emit signals that look less like random noise and more like a deployment sequence. This isn't speculation. This is quantifiable evidence of a cosmic event we were never meant to see. We aren't just tracking debris anymore. We are tracking a maneuver. To understand why 3I Atlas is terrifying the scientific community, we have to look at the history of our guests. In 2017, we had Oumuamua, the Scout. It tumbled. It was shaped like a cigar, and it accelerated without any visible gas. It was our first anomaly. Then came 2I Borisov in 2019. It was normal, a standard, boring comet. It behaved exactly how nature intended. But 3I Atlas? 3I Atlas is breaking the rules of physics. Discovered on July 1st by the Atlas telescope system in Chile, this object was immediately flagged. Why? Because the probability of finding 3 interstellar objects in less than a decade is statistically near zero, unless traffic is increasing. As it approached perihelion, its closest point to the sun, it didn't just swing by using gravity. It hit the gas. Harvard data confirms a non-gravitational acceleration of 94 kilometers per day squared. Let me put that in perspective. That is impossible for a rock. For a comet to accelerate that fast naturally, it would need to be ejecting mass, like a rocket engine vaporizing 2 skyscrapers worth of material every single second. But here is the smoking gun. It wasn't losing enough mass to explain the speed. It was heavy. It was dense. And yet, it was moving faster than gravity allowed. If it's not gas pushing it, what is? If the speed was the warning shot, the color was the declaration of war. Comets are dirty snowballs. When they melt, they reflect sunlight. They look white, yellow, or dusty gray. By late August, the James Webb Space Telescope pointed its golden mirrors at 3I Atlas and saw something that shouldn't exist in nature: a spectrum of ionized cobalt and titanium. These are rare metals, heavy metals. In the interstellar medium, you find hydrogen, helium, maybe some carbon. You do not find refined alloys of cobalt glowing in the infrared. Avi Loeb's team noted this blue shift wasn't just a reflection. It was an emission. The object was glowing in a specific wavelength associated with high-energy ionization. Skeptics say this is just unusual chemistry. But ask yourself, what human technology produces a steady, blue, ionized glow while accelerating through a vacuum? That's right, ion propulsion. We are looking at a signature that mimics our own advanced technology, magnified on a scale we can barely comprehend. Let's take a step back from the alien theories for a moment. Let's use logic. In 1977, humanity launched Voyager 1. It is a collection of gold-plated records, titanium struts, radioactive power cells, and radio antennas. Now, imagine you are an astronomer on a planet 100 light-years away. You spot Voyager entering your solar system. What do you see? You don't see a ship. You see an object that is too shiny to be a rock because of the metal. You see an object that doesn't tumble randomly because of its stabilizers. You see an object emitting unnatural heat from its nuclear battery. And if Voyager fired its thrusters to correct its course, you would see non-gravitational acceleration. If we can do it, why can't they? Everything we are seeing with 3I Atlas, the metal composition, the stability, the sudden shifts in speed, is exactly what an alien civilization would see if they looked at our own probes. We are not looking at a monster. We are looking at a mirror, and the reflection is waking up. But Voyager is a primitive, dead piece of metal compared to what happened next. Because Voyager doesn't change shape, 3I Atlas did. At perihelion, when the heat was highest, it didn't melt. It transformed. Remember the paradox? The object is physically small, 1.2 kilometers, but it is absorbing solar energy like a giant 14.3 kilometers. Professor Avi Loeb offered a terrifyingly simple solution: surface area. If you have a book, it's small. If you rip out every page and lay them flat, it covers a room. The official story is that 3I Atlas exploded into 16 pieces. But look at the data again. Explosions are chaotic. Debris scatters randomly. These 16 fragments didn't scatter. They maintained a formation. Some theories suggest this wasn't a death. It was a birth. It was a deployment mechanism. Imagine solar sails unfolding to catch the photon wind of our Sunday. Imagine sensors extending to scan the planets. The explosion was just the wrapper coming off. The machine is now fully open. If the acceleration and the blue shift were circumstantial, what British astronomers saw on November 9th is the smoking gun. Michael Butner and Frank Knobling captured images that defy the laws of comet physics. They saw an anti-tail. Physics 101. The sun blows wind out. Therefore, a comet's tail must point away from the Sunday always. But 3I Atlas? It has a focused spike of light pointing directly at the Sunday. Nature flows downstream. Only a machine with an engine can swim upstream. It gets worse. Look at the jets. Natural outgassing is random. It spurts from cracks in the ice. These jets? There are 7 of them. They are spaced at regular intervals. They are firing at fixed coordinates on the ecliptic plane. Nature creates chaos. Intelligence creates order. This is not a melting rock. This is an exhaust manifold, or a targeting system. While the scientific community argues on Twitter, the world's governments are reacting with silence and movement. Have you noticed the quiet? NASA has released almost no raw data since the perihelion event. But watch the hands, not the mouth. Leaked orbital tracking data suggests that Russia and China have repositioned key reconnaissance satellites in the last 30 days. The European Space Agency, ESA, has shifted its deep space tracking priorities. Why move billion-dollar military assets to watch a dead comet? Unconfirmed reports from U.S. radar installations speak of a repeating echo, not the random hiss of cosmic radiation, but a pulse. If 3I Atlas is a probe, it is currently phoning home, and the superpowers aren't preparing for a scientific discovery. They are running simulations for a first contact scenario. They are terrified that the object might turn left towards Earth. On December 19th, 3I Atlas makes its closest approach to Earth. Maybe Avi Loeb is wrong. Maybe it's just a weird rock full of cobalt that explodes symmetrically and flies against the wind. But ask yourself, is it safer to believe the comfortable lie or the uncomfortable data? There is a theory called the dark forest. It says the universe is full of life, but everyone is quiet because there are predators in the dark. We have been broadcasting our radio and TV signals into space for 100 years. We have been shouting, "We are here." 3I Atlas might not be an invader. It might just be a scout sent to see who is making all that noise. The scout has seen us. It has taken our picture. And now, it is accelerating back to the darkness to report what it found. The question isn't, are they real? The question is, when are they coming back? The data from the December flyby will be released soon. If the government tries to bury it, we will find it. If you want to be the first to know if this object changes course, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. The algorithm hides the truth, but we won't. Leave a comment below. Do you think 3I Atlas is a rock or a machine? I'm Aetherian. Keep looking up.